That feeling when it's like, I want to call in the love of my life. I've been doing the apps, I've been going on these dates, and it hasn't been working the way that I want because it's not been attracting the right type of people. So it must mean that I need a more conscious man. I need a more, this guy, this person, this type of thing that's in this type of world. So today I want to talk about this quote that I've been coming into my head, where it's like, I don't want to date bros, but I also am not going to call my man a king. Where do I belong in this world? And so if this lands for you, save this, share it with a friend, do the things. If this is your first time catching me live, make sure you say hello in the comment section and you let me know your name, how are you feeling, how's your heart, check in right now, all the good things. And if you're watching the replay, let me know. This actually sparked because I was just having a conversation with my mentor because we were laughing over the theme that I keep sharing on here in my reels, which is like, I keep saying I want to date normal people, and my friends are like, Laura, you're not fucking normal. What makes you think that you could attract normal people? And I want to talk to this because I remember on my journey that, actually, before I even get into that, get your butt into breaking the cycle. This is a free masterclass that is going to teach you, lessons will continue to repeat themselves until they are learned. This is the free masterclass that's happening this Friday. Replays are available, but showing up live is like being in a concert. When the energy is there and it matters, like, show up live for this. I'm going to be giving you the tools that go beyond what we've been hearing, where it's like the childhood work and all this kind of stuff. And we're going to be breaking it down into what I teach, which is trauma and somatic attachment therapy. This is my art. This is my bread and my butter. I'll be talking about that a little bit throughout this, but it's free. So just come check it out. If you're new to my world, I know so many of you are. If you've been eyeing my world and you've been seeing it all happen, if you've been in my world for a while and you've been like, wow, what is the shift that's been going on? And if you're in my programs, like, just come hang out. This is going to be amazing. It's happening this Friday. I'll talk about that more in a second. But I was talking with Shoshi Pants about this because there's the running joke in my friend circle where it's like, I am not a normal human being. I've finally claimed that. I'm fucking weird. I do a whole bunch of things. I talk to trees. I talk to spirit guides. I use all of this stuff, but I wasn't always this way. And I remember in the beginning of my journey, it was like I had been through domestic violence, sexual assault, abandonment wounds, a loss of my mother. Like, there was big T trauma that was happening. And I knew I had to, quote unquote, heal in some type of way. And I knew I kept drawing in these bro-y, toxic, cheating, and manipulative relationships. And they sucked. Like, they were fun, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't me. Like, slamming, you sound normal to me. I love you, Joelle. It was like slamming beers and taking shots and doing these things and taking drugs, and like that was like this element of life that was happening, right? But it wasn't me. And I kept drawing in these relationships, and I could only look at, okay, I am the common denominator in every relationship that I've ever had. So what do I want to do about it? And the only spaces that I would find are like, let's go do some Reiki. Let's go do some womb healing. Let's go to Tantra circles. Let's, massage. I think I said womb, like massage your womb. Let's talk about the energetics. Let's do a lot of like mindset work. And that stuff is great, right? Like, that stuff matters, and I'm sure you've done a whole bunch of that stuff as well. Like cognitive therapy, that was one of it. And then there was the spiritual realm, and it was like both of these things weren't really working realistically, because then I started to attract other types of partners that were deep in this spiritual realm, and it was just re-traumatizing. It was like, let's talk about our trauma together. Let's heal these parts of ourselves. Let's use this space as this healing space. And yes, relationships are a healing space, but it doesn't have to just be this way. Like, we don't have to breathe and eye gaze and things like this. Like, this just wasn't the vibe that I was looking for, because it didn't feel like love. It didn't feel like I was home. It didn't feel like my best friend, that I could be silly and weird and grounded and still have fun and be in the human realm. Like, that is the biggest thing for me. And I say this a lot, where it's like, I love spirituality and I love this world, but like, I am very much in the human realm, and I know you guys are too. And it's like, where do we belong? How do we heal our relationship patterns? How do we open our hearts? How do we tap into the feminine energetic side of things? How do we, attract these relationships with normal people without freaking them out? And how do we break these patterns, right? How do we break these cycles? And so what I started to look at in relationship is, breaking down that there was a whole bunch of fluff. There was a whole bunch of, fluff and a lot of childhood awareness. And anytime I would leave things like this, it was like I was more triggered. And I hear this a lot with my clients as well before we start to do work together, where it's like, I'm open and I'm ready, right? And I'm sure you feel that way. It's like you're open and you're ready to heal this stuff. You're open and you're ready to call in the love story of the ages. Like, you are so ready for your partner. But where are they? What do I do? Like, how does this work if I don't want to call my man a king, if I don't want to massage my yoni, if I don't want to like do these things? I don't even want to call it a yoni. Like, what do I do? And so what I started to lean into, and what I'm going to be breaking down inside of breaking the cycle, and what we're going to be looking at on a deeper level, is I started to look at the somatic world. I started to look at neuroscience and psychology, and moving away from just this mindset work that we see, because a lot of us are trying to process these parts of ourselves where it's like, why am I attracting these bros or these cheaters or these people? Oh, I probably have a fatherhood wound, or oh, I have abandonment or betrayal or rejection or worthiness wounds. Like, these things are so, because of COVID and pop culture psychology, like, we fucking get it. Like, we are so aware that it's kind of fucking annoying. But in my head, it was like, the now what? Now what can I do so I can stop attracting these people? Now what can I do? And no matter how many circles, no matter how many things I was experimenting with, no matter how much stuff, it was like, what can I do? And so this is where the somatic came in, because our body, there's a great book, Body Keeps the Score. Our body remembers. Our body will hold this stuff. So becoming more aware can actually re-traumatize you. And so the way that I teach and the things that I walk you through is like, how do we release that? How do we actually cultivate this safety in our body, especially as high achievers who are lost in our brains all the time of over-processing, over-analyzing, overdoing, overthinking, over blah, 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 all this stuff. How can we actually get into the body in a way that feels safe, so that we can release what is keeping us stuck in the past and build resiliency in build safety in the present moment to build resiliency for the future? Like, that is the gift here. Understanding the neuroscience behind this, understanding the psychology behind all this, understanding the parts of you that maybe, being in these ethereal spaces are trying to spiritually bypass, going above and beyond the human mind, going above and beyond the body. Like, we are so in this world where it's like grounding and being human and actually being in a space so that you're no longer shaming the parts of your past. You're no longer running away from these parts of your past. You can actually feel safe. Hello, Jenica. You can actually feel safe. And this is what starts to shift your relational patterns. And so it's not this space of like, oh, well, if I want to stop dating bros, then I must move to the king realm, and I must move to this, like, and I get that, because when I say somatics, that is very much what a lot of people think. It's this like woo-woo, I'm going to tell you to massage your womb, I'm going to tell you to like, self-pleasure and things like that. And sure, that is some things that like you can explore, and I do talk about, but I talk about the science. I talk about things that are practical for a high-achieving modern woman, because there is space for you for that middle ground of wanting a normal partner, wanting someone that understands you and accepts you for the closet spiritual or the fully spiritual human that you are, but realizing that it's like, I want him to be a king without me having to say it. Like, that's just not in my vocabulary. I'm not going to do tantra with him. I'm not going to do this, like, eye gazing, breathing, healing, these, like, that is not the space that I desire relationship to be. Like, if that is for you, that's where breaking the cycle is going to come in, because that, like, I don't know about you, but that's what I'm craving in this space, where it's like, is there a space for people that are spiritual, people that are out there? Like, the way I was describing it to my mentor, it was like, I'm the type of person that it's like, I am weird. I love to go and talk to trees and meditate outside and use yoni eggs and explore my body and do things like this. But I love my partner to like hold me on the ground. Like, it's not this like therapy space. I've had relationships where it's like deeply, you know, like, let's heal our shit together, and it's fucking traumatizing. I want someone that I can laugh with. That's my best friend, that we like joke around. We have bake-offs. We like tackle each other and build forts, and like we're little kids together and we explore this stuff, and it's fun. And yes, there's parts that are healing within it and there's parts that are seen in it, but it truly is just my best friend. It truly is just someone that the part of me that is human gets to be explored. The part of me that is, you know, in love with life and in this realm gets to be explored. And the part of me that is exploring the spiritual realm, that is, you know, going about these navigation and like these worlds of like womb work and stuff, like she gets to be explored, but that's not in the relationship. I mean, David doesn't do weird things like we do. Exactly, Joelle, exactly. Like that's what I'm seeing more of, is like, where do we belong? Have you actually, Joelle, have you signed up for Breaking the Cycle? I feel like you might love it. Because this is the part where it's like being able to be in relationship with normal human beings. And they're still weird in their own way, because I feel like they have to be weird to accept people like us, you know? But like, they keep you on the ground. And that is so attractive. And the way to do that is to dismantle all the things that this freaking pop psych culture phone thing happens, that like during COVID, when everyone's self-diagnosing and everyone's doing these things, yay, everyone's doing these things, like we can then move into this space of, and I was saying this to my mentor in a way where it's like, when you learn your lesson of, you're weird, you're in this world, like you're on this journey of self-discovery, and you find new things and you're like, fuck, fascinating, like, and you go on this journey. But actually the best journey of all is the feet on the ground with your partner journey, and the moments of like acceptance. And I've said this a lot, and I've said this through my own relational journey, where it's like, when you can find someone that truly accepts you, like, I know you have lists in your phones of what you want someone to be in your future partner and all the kind of things, or what you wish things were like, and that's fucking fine. But the greatest gift of all is when you can attract partners that truly accept you. And the biggest gift of all is you're doing that with each other. And so that allows you to be self-expressed, that allows you to explore these elements, that allows you to think that you have to date someone that's like you. And you actually see that the best lesson is learning from that person that's not like you. That's polarity. Like, that's the gift, is when your partner actually isn't like you. You get to learn from them, and you get to be this human, and they get to bring this out of you, and it gets to create this like duality of life. It's the yin and the yang, and that's the art. You know, and you set each other free in that moment. And so that's the gift that we're going to be talking about in Breaking the Cycle, is how do we get there? Understanding why the relationships and the patterns come into your life in a way that is practical, in a way that isn't like re-traumatizing. A lot of this stuff is, if your nervous system has been through the ringer and you are like trying to figure yourself out and where you belong in this world, and you're throwing yourself into these like spaces like that, it is very traumatizing. And I get it, like how hungry you are to figure yourself out and to be the best version of yourself and to do these kind of things. But if we don't do this in a way that is regulatory and human, paying attention to the human, and we're just in the ethereal, you can really re-traumatize yourself. And so I love the way that I teach this. It has what you need to understand yourself in this way. And so if you are looking to call in high value partners, if you are looking to reignite love into your life in a way that you're like, I fully just love me, like I am fully surrendering and accepting of myself, and I want to be able to show up in partnership in that way, and I want to be able to be the Amor Alchemist. I want it to be this like alchemy and the heart opening epitome of love, like the definition of what love is, like to open your heart in a way that isn't so ethereal and isn't like, well, I have to be in the spiritual and da-da-da-da. Like, it's just, you live this and you breathe it and you fully accept yourself. And as a result, you have the most extraordinary love stories. And you're ready to break the cycles of either the bros or this toxic spirituality and the re-traumatization and the abandonment and the rejection and the worthiness. Like, if you're so fucking ready for that shit to just be done, get your butt into breaking the cycle. It's free. It is free. Show up live, because you can ask your questions and you can get coaching by me and things like that, and you get to meet some extraordinary people. But there will be replays, so I understand we are in all different time zones, but it's going to be at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time this Friday, which is the 9th, June 9th, if you're watching this replay. And what else? Yeah, that's it. You're ready to fully accept, you're ready to fully surrender, you're ready to break the cycle, you're ready to do this in a way where it's like you want to understand yourself in a way that is human, in a way that is scientific, in a way that is practical, in a way that has tangibility to it, so that you can shift these things, because it's not one or the other. It's not like bros, and I call them like frat finance bros, and no offense if you work in finance, but you guys know what I mean. It's like the sales and the finance, like there's a bro aspect to them, and then there's this other aspect of like the deeply, deeply spiritual. And what happens for the people that just want normalcy? That is what we're going to be talking about. Breaking the cycle, stepping into this, really owning this part of yourself, owning who you are, giving you the tools that, so you stop repeating stop repeating this stuff, because it will continue. The lessons will keep repeating themselves until they're learned. This class is where you learn what that lesson is. Okay? It is free. It is 1 hour. It is on Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Get your butt in the room, message me cycle. Or if you're one of those people that are like creepy crawlers and you're just kind of looking in the thing, go click sorry I called you a creepy crawler, it just came to my mind. Go click my name right here and you can see the link in my bio. And so jump in there. I am going to be talking about Alchemy of Love, which is kicking off on Tuesday. You're going to have some good things in there. But, just want to talk about this whole journey, my loves. So enjoy your day. Send this to someone. Do your thing. Be fucking weird. And be okay that, there is a realm in this world where both can coexist. You get to be weird, and you get to have someone that truly accepts you, and they get to be fucking quote-unquote normal. No one's really normal, but they get to be in this world. So I love you so much. I'll see you on Friday, baby. Happy healings.